God, why do we like Tenchi so much?
I'll get back to the movie in just a second, but this is a question we need answered to fully understand the failures of the series, because there are a hell of a lot of them. And yet, there still seems to be love for our poor put-upon-everyman Tenchi.
And I think that's key. He's basically the Joseph Campbell hero archetype. He's lived a completely common, humble life up until greatness is thrusted upon him, revealing a grand destiny that would have been kept hidden from him if not for the fact that he chanced into a bunch of alien women who all want his dong. Basically, it's every male fantasy rolled into one.
When you think about Tenchi Masaki, you realize that the guy doesn't really have a personality. He has traits like being smart, hardworking, and kind, but the only faults his character has are derived from outside influence. His family drives him crazy, the girls are a constant source of stress for him, and he's often unprepared for life and death situations. In short, Tenchi is the ideal audience proxy for male viewers to put themselves in. We all want to believe that we have a secret destiny that we just aren't made aware of. We all want to be the subject of female adoration and attention. Well, if your orientation swings that way at least. And lastly, we all want to believe that we could hold the cosmic power supreme, but be too kind and generous of spirit to endanger the universe by using it. How could you not want yourself to be at least a little like Tenchi?
Thankfully, the series, for the most part, is wise enough to know that you can't just hang your entire appeal on an everyman character, so they surround the everyman with enjoyable personalities that work well together. For the most part.
Yeah, the combative back and forth between Ryoko and Ayeka can be tiring after the umpteenth time we've seen them argue, and Mahoshi can be truly annoying in her stupidity, but it's all of their individual relationships with Tenchi are what really works, especially Ryoko's. This is the sticking point many other harem shows can't seem to work around. It's not that the women have to be attracted to the one guy, but there at least has to be a compelling reason why there is an attraction there, and I find the reasoning behind Ryoko to be utterly engrossing. Well, at least in the Ryooki universe.
Which is an entirely different can of worms that I am not going to open. I'm on a roll, and we are not stopping this train for nothing.
But what about the female perspective? I know of way more female Tenchi Muyo fans than I know male fans. What appeals to them? Well, I might be overstepping my viewpoint here, but I believe it's because the show frames Tenchi as a prize for all the female characters to win, so to speak.
Yeah, you can make the argument that Tenchi is a veritable male Princess Peach.
Nearly every character wants to be Tenchi's girlfriend, and they all bend over backwards to try and snag him in their own ways, and really, why wouldn't they want him? Sure, he's a little doofy and harmless, but that's fangirl whoopee material if I ever saw it. And just like male viewers with Tenchi, female audience members can latch onto any one of the female characters very easily, and maybe even see a bit of themselves in each character, or at the very least, want to see a bit of themselves inside them. Why wouldn't a woman want to be as strong and cocksure as Ryoko, or as demure as Ayeka, or as cute as Sasami, or as determined as Kiyone, or as brilliant as Washu, or as...
No, nobody wants to be Mahoshi.
Of course, this isn't to say that these women are presented asexually. No less than 3 of them have been seen naked for what amounts to little reason, but I would argue that the series treats nudity simply as a part of life. Nearly every scene that involves nudity is presented in a slice-of-life format. Ryoko is just casually naked because it fits her character, while Ayeka always keeps her modesty hidden because it fits her character.
That's how life goes. You take showers, you get dressed, and if the situation calls for it, you get to pull the naked man.
2 out of 3 times. Guaranteed.
This all further solidifies these characters and the audience's connection to them, and what further strengthens this connection is that no girl really winds up with Tenchi. Well, it's hinted at in another movie, but it was never expressly made clear, and that galvanizes the connection between character and viewer. More often than not, when there's a female audience proxy in a will they, won't they kind of plot, it usually ends up they will. But here in Tenchi Muyo, the lack of a final statement on Tenchi's relationships means that 1, your favorite character may still have a shot, and 2, it feels more real. We don't always get the girl, or the guy for that matter, and seeing that in fiction really hits hard and affects us, no matter what your gender or orientation is.
In short, Tenchi Muyo has universal appeal, power fantasy for the guys, romantic chemistry, and proactive female characters for the gals.